A judge says she is in contempt. So tonight, Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis is heading to jail for not issuing marriage licenses. We have reaction from the courthouse.
What's next for Rowan County Clerk's office? The judge said he wants it to be open tomorrow.
A new law in Kentucky increased the school dropout age, but a WKYT investigation looks into whether it's effective.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
Good evening to you. She won't change her mind, so tonight she is in jail. A federal judge held Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis in contempt of court because she still refuses to issue marriage licenses. Davis was booked into the Carter County Detention Center a short time ago. This is her mugshot.
In front of Judge David Bunning, Davis testified that issuing licenses to same-sex couples would violate her conscience. The judge then asked Davis's 6 deputy clerks if they would issue licenses. 5 of them said they would, only Davis's son said he would not. The judge then offered Davis a compromise, saying he would let her out of jail if she would not interfere with her deputies issuing marriage licenses. But Davis still said no. Victor Puente was in the courtroom for the entire hearing today. He's live in Ashland to begin our team coverage. Victor?
Well, supporters of same-sex marriage here at the courthouse said today was a victory. Supporters of Kim Davis said that this was a big blow to religious freedom. Judge David Bunning called 2 recesses during the 5-hour hearing. The first was after Davis had been found in contempt and taken into custody. That move drew audible gasps in the courtroom. It was a chance for her clerks to meet with their attorneys and discuss their options. When they came back into the courtroom, 5 of them said they would follow the judge's order and grant those marriage licenses. Her son Nathan said he would not. That led to a second recess, where Davis was given the opportunity to grant her clerks the authority to issue those licenses, possibly saving her from jail time. Her attorneys said she would not do it. Those clerks are expected to begin issuing licenses tomorrow. Davis's supporters said they expected this ruling.
I thought that Judge Bunning already had his mind made up before he came into the courtroom. I do believe that religious freedom has suffered a tremendous blow today.
I was pleased because she was punished for not doing her job. That's what I'm not saying that she needed to be punished because of her beliefs. That's not. My dad's a pastor. I believe in God. I go to church. Has nothing to do with that. But she did not do her job.
Those 2 were part of the big crowd outside of the courthouse. Police, including Homeland Security, blocked off part of the road in front of the building. No one came to any blows, but there were some tense confrontations. At the end of the hearings, both crowds dispersed once Davis was taken to jail. Live in Ashland, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Victor, thank you. Now, Kim Davis arrived at the Carter County Jail less than an hour ago.
But demonstrators started showing up there hours before. Garrett Weimer is outside the Carter County Detention Center tonight. He continues our breaking news team coverage.
Now, just a little bit ago, 3 vans pulled up here into the parking lot, went into the Sally Port behind me, and the door was quickly shut behind them. At this point, the officers out here have not confirmed whether or not it was Kim Davis, but it would appear that it was. A group of Kim Davis supporters gathered outside the jail here waiting for her. They held signs near Main Street, then circled in front of the jail to say a prayer for strength for Kim Davis and for articles of impeachment against Judge David Bunning. Several involved in the rally say they came from Ohio to show their support. Kim Davis has now been booked, and we just spoke to the jailer, and we'll have more on that coming up tonight. In Carter County, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
The judge said Davis will remain in jail until she decides to issue marriage licenses, but Scott Borries from the UK College of Law says Davis still has some legal options.
No, this is a contempt citation and it's appealable, so I expect that it's probably going to be challenged, and she'll probably challenge it based on the same First Amendment free exercise theory that she's been advancing as a basis for refusing to issue the licenses in the first place.
A clerk's signature isn't actually needed on a marriage license under state statute. Deputy clerks already have the authority to sign them. In fact, they do in virtually all instances, because a clerk has to rely on deputies to verify information on applications. Clerks' names are only pre-printed on marriage licenses.
So what's next in Rowan County now that Kim Davis is in jail tonight? Judge Bunning warned deputy clerks that the Rowan County Clerk's office should be open tomorrow. Our Miranda Combs is live in Rowan County with the latest on that. Miranda?
The crowds in focus was clearly in Ashland this morning, but they know it's going to shift back to Rowan County in the morning. Workers here say they're getting ready. It's been covered with crowds.
Yeah.
I would never do this to someone.
But today, quiet. The sign on County Clerk Kim Davis's door set the stage. They would not open for business today. But once a federal decision was made, there were voices from both sides that came to the lawn.
I'm glad that she went to jail. Yes.
Why?
Because I support the gay community.
I would say, Kim Davis, stand firm. And we're standing with you. And God is standing with you. And the angels are with you. And you are not alone.
Judge Bunning has made it clear that the deputies that agreed to sign all marriage licenses will have to be here bright and early Friday morning. We met one man who showed up today and said he'll be back tomorrow.
I do understand Kim Davis's dilemma. However, this is a country that was founded on principles that were very broad, and it's broad in a way where no matter what your faith is, you are welcome in this country.
Now, the clerk's office opens at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. We've also been told that the Judicial Center that's right across the street here has a busy day on tap tomorrow, so they're obviously very concerned about the crowds that will be here in the morning. I guess we shall see. We're live in Rowan County. Miranda Combs, WKYT.
Miranda, thank you. We will be there to cover it all, and we have much more coverage on the Kim Davis case today on our website. Just go to WKYT.com. Tomorrow, the Lexington-Fayette County Health Department kicks off a new program Health Leaders hope will prevent the spread of HIV and hepatitis. The Health Department will start a needle exchange program at its facility on Newtown Pike. From 1:30 to 4 on Friday afternoons, used needles can be brought in for clean needles. Health leaders say similar programs have worked elsewhere.
I'm doing public health, and I know it helps public health. And I have not been aware of any evidence to show it makes the drug abuse problem worse.
The health department will also have drug treatment options available for anyone that wants them. We have more information about the needle exchange program on WKYT.com.
This summer, a new law changed the dropout age in Kentucky from 16 to 18. Since then, school leaders have been looking for hundreds of dropouts, but some are having a hard time getting them back into classrooms. In Fayette County, school leaders have only been able to get 1 in 4 dropouts back to school. So is the new dropout law effective? Mark Barber has a WKYT investigation.
This is Lynn Schweitzer's office for the day. She's on the road, trying to track down Scott County students who dropped out of school.
It is absolutely the last way. We've called, we've mailed, we've emailed, and now we're going. Here we go.
If she can't find the dropouts, it's possible no one will. School leaders like Schweitzer are scrambling to find students who have been on dropout lists since July, which is when Senate Bill 97, a new truancy law, went into effect. Many school administrators say they are struggling to find those missing students.
No cars in the driveway.
The law is backdated, so some information Schweitzer's using to find dropouts is outdated. Many teens have changed their phone numbers and moved in the past 2 years, leading Schweitzer on ghost runs.
A couple of students, the homes were empty. I mean, just vacant, completely vacant, gone.
She says she has found a dozen dropouts, and they are now back in school, but she is still trying to find a dozen more.
We've had challenges.
Steve Hill is the pupil personnel director in Fayette County. He says they've only been able to get 25% of their 109 dropouts back in class.
We actually had 27 respond, and honestly, that may not seem like a great number, but that's not bad. It's better than what we thought, because in that, a lot of addresses have changed.
The 27 teenagers they could find have missed a lot in the year or two they've been out of school.
A lot of these kids were credit deficient, so our goal is to provide services to make sure that we can either accelerate their credit recovery or get them in their appropriate placement within our schools.
Counselors are working with each student who is trying to adjust to the classroom.
There's some kids that just have really troubles in their life at home. Some that have mental health issues, anxiety. Some are just frustrated because they didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel, and you know, maybe they failed a couple courses early. Some that didn't take it serious.
Schweitzer takes these home visits seriously because it's her last chance to offer dropouts an education. If she can find them, she always asks,
what can we do for you to make it work? Didn't work last time. We're ready to make it work. What can we do?
There's only so much she can do to track the teens down. But every time she strikes out,
nobody home.
She thinks about why she's doing this.
Every story is a success story. I would rather focus on the one that we got than the one that we lost.
So what about the ones they lost? According to the Department of Education's most recent numbers, there were more than 4,400 high school dropouts in the 2013-2014 school year. Many of them are still missing. With only 1 out of 4 dropouts back in school in Lexington, we asked the state senator who sponsored the truancy law if he thinks it's effective. Senator David Givens says he is surprised and disappointed by the rollout, but he thinks the problem will correct itself with time because the students who are coming into high school now will no longer be able to drop out until they turn 18. In the studio, Mark Barber, WKYT.
School districts say after they have tried to reach the student or their parents several times by phone, email, or home visits, they stop trying because there is nothing left to do.
Schools around Franklin County joined forces today to honor a teenager who died from a serious illness. The tribute for Bradley Kamek next.
And we are making our way into that holiday weekend on a steamy note. It's summer in September, and I'll show you how long that sticks around up next.